can be funny occasionally, apparently. Word on the street is.
There are already more videos waiting for you on the channel, but this one hits different because the Beckham family drama has officially crossed a serious line. And the situation is getting way more intense than anyone expected. Brooklyn Beckham, the firstborn son of David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, has finally broken his silence, and he didn't hold back. In a long, emotional Instagram statement, Brooklyn openly addressed his famous parents, sending shockwaves through their carefully controlled public image. For years, they've been seen as the perfect power family. But this message cracked that image wide open, and this wasn't some random outburst. Brooklyn's statement pulled back the curtain on what really went down at his wedding, exposing moments that left guests stunned and quietly whispering among themselves. What was supposed to be a joyful, once-in-a-lifetime celebration quickly took an uncomfortable turn. Sources claim that Victoria's behavior during the event, including a moment on stage with her son that caught everyone off guard, made more than a few people uneasy. Eyebrows were raised. Tension filled the room, and now those details are finally being talked about. According to Brooklyn, that night became a turning point, and nothing has been the same since. That night didn't just sting, it became the moment that changed everything. According to Brooklyn, what happened pushed him to finally distance himself from his family for good, stepping away from the Beckham spotlight, instead of living inside it. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what went down at Brooklyn Beckham's wedding, what pushed him to finally speak up, and the real reason he decided to walk away from the family image everyone else was trying to protect on the 19th of January. Brooklyn took to social media with a long, detailed statement, laying everything out from his point of view without dodging the hard parts. He explained what went wrong with his parents, why he's officially done staying silent, and how years of pressure forced him to choose his own path. His statement opened with the words, "I have been silent for years, and made every effort to keep these matters private for my entire life." That opening alone made it clear, this wasn't a quick post. This was built up, frustration finally coming out. He went on to say, "My parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family." Brooklyn claimed that recently he saw firsthand the lengths they would go to in order to place what he described as misleading stories in the media, often at the expense of innocent people, all to protect their public image. "But I believe the truth always comes out," he added, making it clear he wasn't backing down anymore. And Brooklyn didn't stop there. After breaking his silence, he started recalling specific moments from his past that he says completely changed how he views his family today. He pointed directly to his 2022 wedding to Nicola Peltz, explaining that the problems didn't suddenly appear after the ceremony.
Never ever recreate what I look like at the American Music Awards.
Personal relationships. And by the time his wedding day arrived, everything had already reached a boiling point. As Brooklyn explained, just days before the couple were set to say, "I do," in Palm Beach, Florida, everything suddenly shifted. Victoria Beckham reportedly announced, out of nowhere and at the very last possible moment, that she would no longer be creating Nicola's wedding dress. This came after earlier excitement about Nicola wearing one of her designs, forcing Nicola into a stressful scramble to lock down a completely new gown under intense pressure and tight timing. At the time, Nicola publicly addressed the situation, telling Variety that she chose Valentino Couture instead of a Victoria Beckham design because she realized the atelier couldn't complete it. On the surface, that explanation sounded calm and simple. But Brooklyn's later statements suggest there was a lot more tension bubbling behind the scenes that never made it into the headlines. In his Instagram post, Brooklyn made it clear that this situation wasn't really about a dress at all. He claimed it was part of a much bigger pattern, saying his parents had spent years trying to control nearly every aspect of his life, from who he dated to how his career was shaped, and even how he lived day to day. According to Brooklyn, nothing was left untouched, with every move managed, monitored, and guided in a direction he didn't always choose. He went on to say that he never truly felt like he had real freedom, and the moment he finally chose a partner on his own, the resistance from his parents became intense and nonstop. And then, there's one detail that raised even more eyebrows. Back in 2016, Victoria reportedly registered the name Brooklyn Beckham as an EU trademark, a move that some people now view as a sign of how tightly his identity and future were being structured long before he ever spoke out. Brooklyn's claims didn't stop at emotional distance or wedding day tension. According to him, the issues ran much deeper. Brooklyn Beckham suggested that the Beckham family had long viewed their children not only as family but also as valuable brands. And once it became clear they could no longer fully control him, everything shifted fast. From Brooklyn's point of view, the moment he began asserting real independence, the response wasn't support, it was strategy. He claimed there were deliberate efforts to strip him of the Beckham name itself, a move that stunned many people who believed family bonds would always come before business. Brooklyn also alleged that Victoria Beckham struggled deeply with his marriage to Nicola Peltz, believing that no one should ever come between her and her son. From his perspective, jealousy and control collided, creating a tense and hostile environment that only intensified as the wedding day approached. In his statement, Brooklyn revealed that David and Victoria allegedly tried to prevent Nicola from being able to use the Beckham family name at all. He wrote, "Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. That claim alone sent shockwaves through public opinion." Brooklyn explained that the timing wasn't random, it was deliberate. He said they were determined to get his signature before the wedding, because once the ceremony happened, the terms of the deal would automatically take effect. He added, "They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date, because then the terms of the deal would be initiated." According to Brooklyn, his refusal directly impacted financial expectations, and he claimed, "My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since." And the tension didn't stop there. Brooklyn also addressed another moment that left him completely stunned. He and Nicola made a personal decision to seat their grandmothers at the main table, a choice meant to honor family, but according to Brooklyn, even that decision sparked unexpected reactions that added yet another layer to an already explosive night. Since both women had lost their husbands, Brooklyn explained that seating their grandmothers at the main table was a decision made purely out of respect and care. Their parents were still seated at equally prominent tables right beside them, so nothing was taken away from anyone. Still, according to Brooklyn, emotions boiled over fast, and the situation spiraled beyond control. He wrote that his mom went as far as calling him evil, a moment he says left him completely shaken and stunned. And according to Brooklyn, the tension didn't start or end that night. He alleged that the evening before the wedding, members of his own family said something that cut deep and stayed with him. They reportedly told him that Nicola was not blood and not family, words that Brooklyn says completely changed how he viewed the situation. Even the wedding day itself wasn't spared from chaos, and what should have been a private emotional milestone quickly turned into one of the most talked about moments of the entire ceremony. In his statement, Brooklyn Beckham finally addressed the wedding dance incident that has been picked apart nonstop online. He explained that his planned first dance with his wife was suddenly derailed in front of a packed room full of guests. Brooklyn wrote, "My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife," making it clear this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a moment that blindsided him completely. He went on to explain that singer Mark Anthony called him onto the stage, even though the schedule clearly listed a romantic dance with Nicola. But instead of that moment, his mother was already waiting there, according to Brooklyn. The situation instantly felt wrong and uncomfortable. He stated, "She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. But instead of that, I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life." That moment didn't just shock the guests in the room. It sparked a wave of online speculation that hasn't stopped since. Some observers believe that the behavior seen at the wedding didn't come out of nowhere at all. They think it may trace back to long-simmering tension tied to years of public rumors surrounding David Beckham and alleged infidelity, claims that followed the couple for a long time. Those rumors were eventually addressed when David and Victoria Beckham spoke openly about the strain those years placed on their marriage, pulling back the curtain on a painful chapter. In the Netflix documentary Beckham, David reflected on a deeply difficult period in his life, while Victoria spoke candidly about the hurt, frustration, and resentment she felt at the time. That honesty shocked many viewers. And now, with everything unfolding around Brooklyn's wedding, people are revisiting those moments with fresh eyes and serious questions. Attention has now shifted to someone who witnessed the wedding incident up close and in real time. The DJ hired for the event, DJ Fat Tony, was positioned right next to the stage when everything unfolded, with Brooklyn finally sharing his perspective and eyewitnesses beginning to speak up. A moment many brushed off as harmless is now being re-examined under a very different light. According to guests at the wedding, the tension wasn't subtle at all. Those closest to the stage could clearly see how uncomfortable the situation had become, not just for Brooklyn, but for Nicola as well. DJ Fat Tony reportedly saw everything from just feet away, and from his viewpoint, it was obvious something was off. Witnesses say Brooklyn and Nicola's expressions gave everything away. The unease was written all over their faces, like they wanted the moment to end immediately. Tony has since suggested that the issue went far beyond a single dance. In his view, that moment symbolized something much deeper: years of tension, blurred boundaries, and unresolved family dynamics, finally spilling out in public for everyone to see. For many observers, Brooklyn's statement marked a clear turning point. It was the first time someone directly connected to the Beckham family spoke so openly about what he claims happens behind closed doors. For years, rumors have followed the family, including ongoing speculation around David Beckham and repeated talk about cracks in the marriage. But nothing had ever been addressed like this before, while those rumors were never fully confirmed. Brooklyn's statement reignited public interest in questions people had quietly asked for a long time. According to those close to the situation, this was only the beginning, not the end. Brooklyn is reportedly preparing to reveal even more, including his version of long-running family conflicts, behind-the-scenes media narratives, and stories he believes were buried to protect a carefully maintained image. Just last week, Brooklyn Beckham announced that he's working on a book, and insiders say this one will finally lay everything out from his point of view. In the world of celebrity branding, that announcement sent shockwaves, with reports claiming it has the Beckham camp deeply concerned. One unexpected revelation can shift public perception overnight, and some believe Brooklyn's story could permanently change how the family is viewed. And according to Brooklyn's supporters, none of this would have gone public if the family had been willing to change their approach earlier. They believe the situation could have been handled privately if there had been real effort on both sides. According to DJ Fat Tony, Brooklyn's public statement didn't surprise him at all. He revealed that Brooklyn had tried more than once to address these issues behind the scenes, hoping his parents would finally listen, but those conversations reportedly went nowhere. From Tony's point of view, Brooklyn felt completely cornered. After repeated attempts to speak directly and privately went nowhere, going public became the only option left for him to take control of his own story. According to those close to him, this wasn't about revenge. It was about finally being heard after years of feeling ignored. Meanwhile, industry insiders claim the Beckham camp is already preparing a response. However, unlike Brooklyn, David Beckham and Victoria Beckham are reportedly staying away from social media for now, choosing a more controlled and strategic route behind the scenes. To many observers, that silence feels calculated, not accidental. For a lot of people watching closely, this fallout didn't come out of nowhere at all. Not long after the wedding, Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz quietly held a vow renewal ceremony without his parents or extended family present. According to those close to the couple, the decision was deeply emotional. Brooklyn and Nicola reportedly felt their original wedding had been overshadowed by tension and discomfort, and they wanted to reclaim that moment in a space that felt safe, calm, and truly theirs. As expected, public reaction has been sharply divided. Some critics argue Brooklyn should have stayed silent, claiming he's damaging the Beckham name and should simply be grateful for the life his parents provided. On the other side, supporters strongly disagree. They believe Brooklyn doesn't owe anyone his silence and has every right to speak on his own experiences without protecting a brand that no longer reflects his truth. And that's the debate shaking public opinion right now. To some, Brooklyn isn't destroying the Beckham legacy at all. He's the first person willing to stop shielding it and finally say what others wouldn't. For years, the Beckham image has been built on polish, discipline, and the idea of a perfectly united family, but now, that picture is being questioned louder than ever. From the outside, it always looked perfect: grateful children, global fame, and a family brand that seemed completely untouchable. But behind the scenes, Brooklyn claims the focus on control and image often came before personal boundaries. According to him, maintaining a flawless public front mattered more than how things actually felt inside the family, and that pressure quietly built up over the years. In the Netflix series Beckham, David Beckham and Victoria Beckham finally addressed the cheating allegations that have followed their marriage for years, while the couple denied any wrongdoing. Many viewers felt their explanations raised more questions than answers. Victoria openly admitted that during that period she developed deep resentment toward her husband, a rare confession that exposed visible cracks in the image fans had been sown for decades. Those moments forced viewers to rethink what life inside the Beckham household may have really been like. For some, the documentary didn't close the chapter. It opened a new one. There have also been long circulating stories about David's priorities during that era, including claims that important family moments were missed, while his public and social life stayed front and center. Whether fully accurate or not, Brooklyn speaking out didn't create these issues, he exposed them. And with his book reportedly on the way, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. If you want to stay ahead of the fallout, hear what comes next, and break down celebrity stories without the filter, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Celeb Rush. Right now, this is where the polished stories fall apart and the real details finally come out. Come back for more secrets like this, more deep dives, and more celebrity drama that doesn't get sugar-coated. Check out the other videos already waiting on the channel, because this saga is far from finished. And trust me, it's only just beginning.